Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Shiba Daud. I know you know it, but I always say it because I know how proud it makes my father. My dad always dreamed that I would be a doctor, though it turns out I'm a different kind of a doctor than he expected. Growing up in India, I was not the smartest kid in the class, but the education system and societal pressures meant that I should or I could be a doctor or an engineer. And that's what my dad expected. But in my high school, during one of the talks by the president of our country, it was the first time I have ever heard about nanoscience. It was his field of study and it was completely new. Nanoscience is a study of incredibly small things, which has potential to reshape the world around us. A nanometer is 10 to the power of minus 9 meter, which is 1 billionth of a micrometer. To get your head around that, let me give you a few examples. The thickness of your single stranded hair is about 50,000 and 100,000 nanometer. For you to imagine more, I'll give you one more example. If all the people on this planet, including you and me, are the size of 1 nanometer, we all could fit into a single Hot Wheel matchbox car. So, did you get an idea? Nano is super, super tiny. It is a study of structure and manipulation of properties at nanoscale, leading to novel applications ranging from manufacturing to healthcare. So, from the moment I heard about it, I knew exactly what I wanted to do: become a nanoscientist. But honestly, how many of us here have ever heard about nanoscience or nanotechnology or its outcomes? A handful of us. A decade ago, when I graduated with a degree in nanoscience, there were no jobs for this emerging technology. People weren't thinking about nanoscience. There was no value, there was no demand. Fortunately, I loved school. So I get on to get my graduate studies, first in Australia and then America. So, what did my dad get? A doctor of nanoscience. Even then, I stayed with nanoscience because I believed that it has potential to change the world. And I was right. From the research that I conducted during my graduate studies, I still get to be part of that change. So, before I tell you what I have found, for a second, let's just imagine a world without batteries, your life without cars or cell phones, or a world without pacemaker. Technology today has a huge impact on our daily lives, from communication to transportation. And it has been major drivers for the advances in the technology. We all live in the era of battery storage, and batteries have potential to revolutionize energy storage industry and help in a very important transition to clean energy, leaving behind fossil fuel which can power our world. My work is on lithium, the lightest element and the primary component in the battery. It is very important chemical elements with many end users, from batteries to medical treatment of bipolar disorder. But most commonly, it is known for its powerful electrochemical properties that are harnessed in the form of efficient, lightweight lithium ion batteries. So, with the ever growing demand for batteries in electric vehicles, electronic industry, electric grid, the energy storage market is expected to reach $135 billion by 2025. And the global need for the battery grade lithium is expected to increase more than 18-fold by 2030. Currently, there are various resources of lithium, from raw materials in the ground to recycling lithium from batteries. And as of 2020, 21 million metric tons of lithium is available to us. This is not the problem. The problem is to get to the lithium. Obtaining lithium using conventional process is taking an environmental toll on us, or rather three: carbon emission, water, and land. So mining lithium from hard rock deposit is pretty much what you think it would be. Very similar to traditional ore mining. It is intensive and expensive operation and causes high carbon footprint. That is, for every 1 ton of lithium, it releases 15,000 kg of carbon. We also have other way around: extraction of lithium from brine deposit. Now, when I say brine, I know you all must be thinking about pickles. Not here. The brine deposit that I am talking about is a ground salty water that contains sodium, potassium, magnesium, along with lithium in it. And these are present in the form of continental brine containing lithium above 6,000 ppm, geothermal brine containing about 500 ppm, and oil field brine containing lithium about 500 to 1500 ppm. So extraction of lithium from these brine deposits is a water-intensive operation, and lithium is collected through a technique called solar evaporation. In this technique, the water is drilled from underground and it is put onto the surface into series of ponds and allowed to be evaporated. And as the water gets evaporated, the metals get deposited at the base of the ponds. Now here, various kinds of chemicals are added to increase the yield of lithium. As a procedure itself sounds, this technology has various disadvantages, such as it takes about 1.5 to 2 years to process lithium. It requires high water and land use. And most importantly, this technique is effective only at certain concentration of lithium, which should be about 5,000 ppm to 6,000 ppm. Perhaps not applicable to the other brine deposit like geothermal brine and oil field brine. So what we need currently is a better way to pull lithium from this brine deposit with different concentrations. As these brine deposit constitutes 66% of global lithium resources. So mining lithium from brine deposit could be economically friendly and also environmentally friendly if an efficient direct lithium extraction technology is developed. There are various reported direct extraction technologies like ion exchange and solvent extraction, among which ion exchange was found to be much more promising, where lithium is extracted within few days. In this method, the lithium is absorbed onto the ion exchange material, releasing other ions like hydrogen into the liquid source. However, this method lacks selectivity, and also the ion degrade material degrades in diverse chemical conditions. And it also has challenges in scaling up. So what we require is an efficient lithium recovery technology and an absorbent material that have high selectivity towards lithium, and also the absorbent material which is durable in diverse chemical conditions. And this innovative breakthrough is possible through, you guessed it right, nanotechnology. So during my PhD project, we were able to develop a molecular sieving nanomembrane technology to extract lithium. Even better, these materials are made from easily available natural polyphenols that are present in different parts of trees, like leaves or bark. These materials offer tunable or adjustable pore size, and these can be tuned physically or chemically to capture different kinds of elements. So, taking advantage of these characteristics, we have developed a nanomembrane technology to extract lithium, even in the presence of different iron, increasing its efficiency to 90%. So, this technology has more advantages compared to the conventional or recently reported direct lithium extraction technology that can extract lithium within 24 hours, making the process cheaper, easily available, and environmental friendly. So, this is when my dad got more than what he bargained for. And this discovery led me to transition from a researcher to an entrepreneur. So, the foundation work of my project led me to participate in a National Science I-Corps program, which aims to fast track discoveries from lab to the real world. This was the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. I participated in various pitch competitions and I conducted more than 100 customer discoveries with various industrial professionals to find out the need for my product. What I have realized, you cannot decide what people need just like that. We need to talk and find out. So during my customer discovery, I had my biggest breakthrough, and that is industrial waste can be used to fuel the electric vehicle revolution. So I have found the market fit for the product that I have been researching in lab. So I took a big leap and started off a spin-off company. So what I have discovered that in oil industry, for every 1 barrel of oil, 10 barrels of water is produced. And this water is referred as oil field brines or produced water. Interestingly, this water contains lithium in it. So how are oil industries treating this water? It is treated as an industrial waste, and lithium is literally being dumped into the drains. Very recently, President Biden has announced that half of the vehicles sold in US by 2030 would be electric. And with China and Europe joining this league, it is predicted that 140 million electric vehicles will be on the road by the next decade. But currently in US, we only have one operation, that is lithium brine extraction in the state of Nevada. So extraction of lithium from oil field brines could be a very huge opportunity to America because the brine deposit constitutes 3% of global lithium resources, and this water contains economical value of lithium concentration that is 50 ppm to 1500 ppm in some states like North Dakota, East Texas, Arkansas, which I have found out during my customer discovery. And also, US produces 50 million barrels of these brine water per day. So lithium is our era's gold rush. What seems to be a trash can be turned into a national treasure. This element helps us to stay connected and charged. And this valuable element also has potential in the continuous development of renewable energy, that is clean energy, which is one step to combat the current climate change crisis. So personally, one other thing that I learned that research takes longer time to come into public's eye and begin to make a difference. There's a communication and access gap. Working in research, in a nanoscience research, is no less like a doctor or a pharmacist or an engineer where the values are expected and also valued. So that is when I developed passion to bring research and science and communicate to the world. I decided that my life would be to bring the value and the process of research and my favorite science, nanoscience, to the masses. So, my study research over 13 years, my willingness to focus on the criticism and treat it like an experiment, and my willingness to push myself beyond the barriers that I face. And through my faith in Christ, I am here to start my entrepreneurial dream. Entrepreneurship is not easy. I had to even reject my dream job in the process. And even today, 9 out of 10 people ask me to take an easy way rather than the path of constant struggle. But I know that the world needs what I have to offer only in a way I, Dr. Dawood, can offer it. So, what's next? Electric vehicles and all other technologies that require batteries will grow exponentially, causing lithium extraction to be a national concern. The science that I am building will soon come into the world through the company that I am working on. I will continue to build upon rejection after rejection until I reach success, like I have done back in the lab. So, what matters is what's next for you. Thank you.